Are we watching the fall of a TV empire? Is this goodbye to Ellen? The Ellen DeGeneres Show will conclude after its next season, season 19. While most of us were shocked at the allegations toward Ellen DeGeneres, we didn't think the Ellen DeGeneres Show would ever go off air. Let us talk about that in this video. Before we get started, go ahead and do me a favor. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to watch more videos like this. Let's get started. After all, there have been 18 seasons where the show transformed into a staple talk show to catch up with our favorite celebrities. But everything's changed since the allegations came out. Advertisers, A-listers, and viewers have been avoiding the show. It just isn't the same anymore. Season 19 of the show will be the final season, as the show is slated to end in 2022. From a statement from Ellen herself, she cites moving forward as the reason for the show's ending. She said to The Hollywood Reporter, "When you're a creative person, you constantly need to be challenged. And as great as this show is and as fun as it is, it's just not a challenge anymore." But we all know there's more to the story than that. Quite frankly, the show hasn't been the same, and it was unable to bring in as much revenue as before the allegations of a toxic workplace environment came out. In April 2020, beauty YouTuber Nikki DeJager accused Ellen of being cold and distant when she appeared on her show months earlier. Ellen's bodyguard at the 2014 Academy Awards also spoke out about how unfriendly she was. Variety also reported in April 2020 that crew members from the talk show were outraged over how top producers handled the production shutdown amid the pandemic, saying that they received no written communication about their working hours or pay for over a month. Then, after the BuzzFeed news report on the detailed allegations from current and former employees on the horrible work conditions behind the scenes of the show, the floodgates opened even more. Everyone had a story about either how unpleasant Ellen was or how unpleasant her show was. Remember that long Twitter chain of people just telling their not so pleasant experiences with a talk show host? That chain blowing up really shows how many people are waiting to tell their story. Needless to say, Ellen was canceled on social media due to the seriousness of the allegations. There was an internal investigation at Warner Media, particularly because 3 of the show's executive producers oversaw a workplace culture where harassment was pervasive. Soon after the investigation was launched, Ellen sent a letter to her staff, responding to former employees. In her message, Ellen said she had come to rely on others to stay on top of the daily operation, but added, "My name is on the show and everything we do, and I take responsibility for that." In her apology to her staff, Ellen affirmed, "The show was supposed to be a place of happiness where everyone would be treated with respect." Then, in August, Ellen announced executive producers Ed Glavine, Kevin Lemon, and co-executive producer Jonathan Norman had been fired. But Ellen's apology came months after the allegations, where she remained silent the whole time. Many thought it took too long to address such a serious issue. Her apology couldn't stem the fallout. Many found it disingenuous. One longtime current employee told BuzzFeed News that Ellen's letter to staffers didn't seem to be written by the talk show host herself. Her image was shown as being nice and being friends with everyone, but the allegations tell a completely opposite story. With all the backlash, many voiced their opinions of how the show should be canceled or how Ellen should step down. Amongst the criticism, the Ellen DeGeneres Show came back to TV in the fall of 2020, season 18, with Ellen as the host. After months of airing, the show was losing advertisers, struggling to book A-list celebrities, and suffering a dip in ratings during what is usually the busiest time of the year. Ratings have tumbled 43% this season, averaging 1.4 million viewers, down from the 2.5 million at this point last year. Although every talk show has dropped in ratings this year, the decline for Ellen has been steeper, as Ellen is said to make $50 million a year in a contract. It's possible the drop in revenues and ratings is too much compared to her paycheck. Reportedly, Ellen recently informed her staff of the decision to end the show and plans to sit down with Oprah Winfrey to discuss the news later. It makes sense that with Ellen announcing she's ending her popular daytime show, she's choosing to talk about it with Oprah Winfrey. After all, Oprah remains a person to talk to when there's big news. The two are very similar. They're both trailblazing women who built media empires around their talk shows and who are also good friends. Ellen referenced Oprah in her interview about the ending of the show, saying how Oprah flourishes no matter what she does. The two have a rich history. In 1997, Ellen riskily announced her sexuality back when there was very few openly LGBT+ communities. Oprah was the one who interviewed Ellen at the time of her coming out. When Ellen started her own talk show, many thought she was primed to be the next Oprah. A 2010 Forbes article was headlined, "Ellen DeGeneres, the next Oprah." So it feels right that Ellen's talk show conclusion interview being led by Oprah is a kind of a full circle moment. In her interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Ellen said she's been contemplating leaving the show for several years, but was convinced to stay on. But then, reports of misconduct started emerging, and unfortunately, I learned through the press, Ellen views the end of her show as the ending of a chapter in her book, and she is excited to explore more things that will utilize her creativity. Ellen's departure from daytime television marks a stunning fall for a comedian who got her start doing stand-up comedy before going on to build an empire based on her observational brand of humor and reputation as the Queen of Nice. She launched the Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2003, and it quickly became one of the top-rated daytime television shows as well as a popular promotional stop for celebrities. A huge part of her branding including her often used phrase, "Be kind to one another," after season 16. Ellen was going to leave, but they asked her to sign on for 4 more years. Ellen stated that her brother Vance DeGeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi has been extremely supportive and helped her decide to walk away from the show. Ellen knew 2 years ago when she signed a deal for 3 more years that season 19 would be her last. She stated, "I just feel like there's something more I could be doing. I care about the environment, I care about animals, I care about design and furniture, so definitely people have been saying, why don't we just try to go on a little longer? But 19 years is a long time to do anything." In her monologue, when she addresses her decision, Ellen affirms her love for the number 19. She references how the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. She also noted that she recently reached the 3,000th episode milestone, which is a big deal. However, in her monologue, she doesn't discuss the toxic workplace allegations that caused her show to lose ratings, advertisers, viewers, and 3 producers. Ellen told The Hollywood Reporter that her decision to end the show was not related to last summer's allegations. She said it almost impacted the show. "It was very hurtful to me. I mean, very. But if I was quitting the show because of that, I wouldn't have come back this season." According to Ellen, the current season and the upcoming last season will be a celebration of the past 18 years of the show. A last hurrah. There's no word yet on if there will be a replacement talk show. It's possible that there will be a new female-led talk show that becomes the next Ellen, hopefully minus the allegations. For those who must have your daily dose of Ellen DeGeneres, don't worry, she is not leaving TV completely, as she is working on other projects. Ellen DeGeneres' new design competition show is considered a must-watch. The HBO Max show titled Ellen's Next Great Designer. They are actors, but also furniture designer Scott Foley, interior designer Bridget Romantic, and artist Fernando Mastrangelo. The contestants are equally talented. No one on this show is an amateur. The contestants are tasked each week with creating a piece of furniture. Ellen pops up each episode sort of watching over the competition. She wanted to know the future of design with a focus on creativity and innovation. She felt there was a gap on TV showcasing these talented designers, thus she brought about the show. The winner will receive $100,000, and the judges are looking for someone who has it all. During critiques, they discuss scale and functionality as much as originality. Ellen said, "I want this show to be about not simply making nice furniture, but creating pieces that are both furniture and art." The fact that the show was promoting independent artists was a draw, and it's a great platform to foster independent talent. If you're a fan of Ellen, definitely tune in. Even if you're not a fan of Ellen, tune in for the artistic creativity these talented people bring in. Are you sad the Ellen DeGeneres Show is ending? Will you tune into her new show Ellen's Next Great Designer? Let us know your opinion in the comments below.